Back to school, the largest school board in Canada is hit with a data breach. The breach from last year continues to claim victims. And why has the city of Columbus tried to get a restraining order against a whistleblower who revealed that the city had been hacked? Welcome to Cybersecurity Today. I'm your host, Jim Love. Toronto District School Board, Canada's largest school board, with 582 schools and about 235,000 students, has confirmed a data breach affecting student information. This breach stems from a ransomware attack discovered in June. The compromised data, found in a technology testing environment separate from the board's official networks, could include students' names, school names, grades, TDSP email addresses, student numbers, and partial birth dates. The Lockbit ransomware gang has claimed responsibility for the attack. While the TDSP assures that the risk to students is low and no data has been found on the clear or dark web, they've threatened to leak the stolen data if the ransom isn't paid within 2 weeks. The school board has taken immediate action, including isolating the affected systems, enhancing security measures, and notifying law enforcement and privacy authorities. This breach not only reminds us of the ongoing threat of ransomware attacks on educational institutions and other public entities, but also of the importance of securing all environments, including testing environments. The MoveIT breach from last year continues to claim victims. Listeners will remember that the popular file share utility was hacked last year by a group called CI0P and had an enormous number of victims, estimated at 2,700 organizations and 96 million individuals affected. But unlike a typical ransomware operation that might contact companies individually directly, CI0P chose to post hundreds of separate notices on their victim shaming site, likely due to the massive scale of the attack and the number of victims to contact. And it appears that perhaps due to the volume, they may have missed naming and shaming one or more victims. The Texas Dow Employees Credit Union, or TDECU, has disclosed a data breach affecting over 500,000 individuals, more than its entire membership. The breach, linked to a vulnerability in Progress Software's MoveIT file transfer system, went undetected for an astonishing 14 months. While the ransomware gang CI0P began exploiting the MoveIT vulnerability in May 2023, TDECU only discovered the breach on July 30th, 2024. This is unusual given that Progress Software notified customers and issued a patch within days of the initial exploit. The stolen data includes sensitive information such as full names, social security numbers, and financial account details. TDECU's delayed discovery raises some questions about their cybersecurity practices and monitoring systems. TDECU has notified authorities and sent letters to all of the affected individuals, and they are offering support to potential victims of the hack, including credit monitoring. Over the weekend, we were contacted to make us aware that the city of Columbus, Ohio's capital, Columbus, fell victim to a ransomware attack by the Ricida Group. Initially, reports suggested 6.5 terabytes of data were potentially stolen. Those systems might not have been encrypted. The city's IT systems, including police dispatch centers, were taken offline as a precaution. Now, the writer pointed out that this breach had gone largely unreported due to it happening right around the time of the CrowdStrike issue. Despite Mayor Ginter's initial assurances of data safety, 3 terabytes of stolen data appeared on the dark web after the city refused to pay the ransom. A local cybersecurity expert's analysis revealed sensitive information, including employee payroll data, police officer details, criminal records, and even more sensitive information. According to another source, this could also have included identities of undercover police, domestic violence victims, and even child rape victims. So there's a lot of questions about how this happened, and possibly some criticism of the city. Our contact noted that the incident raises critical questions about the city's cybersecurity practices. He also questioned how Columbus could still be running its own Microsoft Exchange servers in 2024, and how a city of this size lacked proper network segmentation and security measures. All valid questions. And there have been actions taken against the city. The local police department has filed a class action lawsuit against the city for lack of transparency and data protection. But here's where the story gets into something that our contact was concerned about. The city has now filed for a restraining order against the cybersecurity expert who provided details to the local media about the incident. There are differing stories about who did what, and we do not have feet on the street to validate what happened. But the city is reporting that it's not going after the whistleblower for embarrassing the city, but because he might be trying to give the information to others. And the city did not provide any proof to support this. So the whistleblower, who goes by the handle Connor Goodwolf, is making no comment and retaining a lawyer. Now here's where we take issue with this. And I've gotten some criticism for editorializing since I took over the hosting of this program, but with 40 years experience in IT, I think I'm entitled to have an opinion. When I was in charge of editorial content at the former IT world, we had a similar experience. We received a tip about a hack that had not yet been revealed. With that tip, we were shown some information to prove that the hack had actually occurred. That information was available on the dark web. When we ran the story, the company had their lawyer issue a demand that we reveal everything we knew and destroy the data we had. If they'd asked nicely, we'd have destroyed the data. But we did have to retain some proof of our story's veracity. And for us, the only use of that seized data was to ensure that we'd been accurate in our reporting and could prove it. And that might not seem like much, but the threat of legal action has to be taken seriously. Well, we had to get our own lawyer, and if this had gone to a lawsuit, it would have been costly both in time and resources, something any struggling publication would feel the impact of. So we finally agreed to destroy the data, but not to reveal our sources. This time, it's not a company, it's an individual that's targeted, perhaps one that has even less resources to deal with than we did. And my question is this: if we value transparency, shouldn't government departments, cities, states, provinces, countries, doesn't matter, shouldn't they be protecting whistleblowers? And at a time where we find out details of some hacks from individuals who feel that citizens and victims have a right to know, and a small number of security publications and blogs that are trying to inform us, it's even more important that these voices be heard. We thank the listener who brought the story, and we bring this to you for your attention. That's our show. You can find the show notes with links at technewsday.com or .ca. Take your pick. As always, if you have opinions about this, you can contact me at editorial@technewsday.ca. I'm your host, Jim Love. Thanks for listening.